You may feel chills during this message, or a sudden calm. That's not random. It's the angelic realm placing a divine signature on your soul. You're not just listening, you're being sealed for what comes next. A shift in your emotions lately wasn't mood, it was movement. Your energy has outgrown environments you used to fit in. Don't shrink back. The discomfort is confirmation heaven is stretching you for something holy. Archangel Michael says someone has watched you quietly, questioning your glow. They don't understand it's not from success, but from surrender. Heaven is lighting you up for those meant to find you. A location will come to mind soon, one you haven't visited or maybe forgot. That place holds the next layer of your calling. Don't ignore the nudge. There's an open door there with your name etched in light. Something you almost gave up on is circling back, but this time, it's refined by fire. What once broke you will now bless you. Don't resist the rerun. God is rewriting the ending. Type, "I receive it," in the comments to activate the blessing now forming around you. When you speak it, you allow heaven to accelerate it. This is not for everyone. It's for those who are ready. You are. You've been feeling tired around certain people. Not because you're weak, but because your spirit is rejecting what no longer honors your growth. That's not exhaustion, that's discernment. Archangel Michael whispers silence is not your absence, it's your shield. There are forces trying to study you, mimic you, distract you, but they cannot decode what was encrypted in your spirit before birth. A dream is about to deliver something unusual. It might be an object, a phrase, a face you haven't seen in years. Take it seriously. The divine speaks symbolically before it speaks visibly. An unexpected voice, a stranger, a song, a line in a book will mention exactly what you've been praying about. This isn't coincidence, it's a coded confirmation. Heaven is aligning evidence around you. Someone who once dismissed you will try to re-enter your life with praise. Do not let flattery fool you. Elevation attracts attention, but not all of it is sincere. Smile with grace, then walk with God. Right, "I'm ready," to confirm your alignment. Every time you type it, angels record it. Every time you declare it, your energy shifts. Don't whisper your readiness, let heaven hear it. You may feel chills during this message, or a sudden calm. That's not random. It's the angelic realm placing a divine signature on your soul. You're not just listening, you're being sealed for what comes next. A shift in your emotions lately wasn't mood, it was movement. Your energy has outgrown environments you used to fit in. Don't shrink back. The discomfort is confirmation heaven is stretching you for something holy. Archangel Michael says someone has watched you quietly, questioning your glow. They don't understand it's not from success, but from surrender. Heaven is lighting you up for those meant to find you. A location will come to mind soon, one you haven't visited or maybe forgot. That place holds the next layer of your calling. Don't ignore the nudge. There's an open door there with your name etched in light. Something you almost gave up on is circling back, but this time it's refined by fire. What once broke you will now bless you. Don't resist the rerun. God is rewriting the ending. Type, "I receive it," in the comments to activate the blessing now forming around you. When you speak it, you allow heaven to accelerate it. This is not for everyone, it's for those who are ready. You are. You've been feeling tired around certain people, not because you're weak, but because your spirit is rejecting what no longer honors your growth. That's not exhaustion, that's discernment. Archangel Michael whispers silence is not your absence, it's your shield. There are forces trying to study you, mimic you, distract you, but they cannot decode what was encrypted in your spirit before birth. A dream is about to deliver something unusual. It might be an object, a phrase, a face you haven't seen in years. Take it seriously. The divine speaks symbolically before it speaks visibly. An unexpected voice, a stranger, a song, a line in a book will mention exactly what you've been praying about. This isn't coincidence, it's a coded confirmation. Heaven is aligning evidence around you. Someone who once dismissed you will try to re-enter your life with praise. Do not let flattery fool you. Elevation attracts attention, but not all of it is sincere. Smile with grace, then walk with God. Write, "I'm ready," to confirm your alignment. Every time you type it, angels record it. Every time you declare it, your energy shifts. Don't whisper your readiness. Let heaven hear it. You will soon hear silence in a place that used to be noisy. That moment isn't emptiness, it's divine stillness. Archangel Michael is clearing spiritual interference so you can finally hear what your destiny has been whispering. A message is coming through an old form, an email, a voicemail, even a piece of mail. It will appear ordinary, but your spirit will feel the weight. That's your signal. Pay close attention to the details no one else sees. Someone's opinion of you is about to change, but not because you tried to convince them. It's because God is preparing to display what He hid in you. When revelation hits, even doubters will fall silent. A delay you've experienced wasn't punishment, it was protection. If you had walked through that door earlier, it would have cost you peace. But now, that same door has been reinforced with blessing. It's time. The weight in your chest isn't stress, it's spiritual expansion. Your soul is stretching to hold what's coming. Don't resist it. Let your body rest, because your spirit is in motion. Type, "Stretch me, Lord," in the comments. This isn't just a prayer, it's a permission slip. Heaven only fills what is willing to expand. Say it aloud. Your growth begins with surrender. You're about to walk into a room where no one expects you. But somehow your name is already on the list. Don't shrink. You're not there to impress. You're there to shift the atmosphere. A strange alignment is forming around your calendar. Sudden cancellations or reschedules are not random, they are divine edits. Heaven is rearranging your time to match your assignment. Someone you barely know has been praying for you. Their words reached the throne, and heaven assigned reinforcement. You're about to feel a strength that didn't come from you. It came through intercession. An old wound will resurface, not to hurt you again, but to show you that it no longer holds power. You'll remember, but you won't break. That's healing. That's victory without vengeance. The atmosphere around your sleep is changing. You may wake up at strange hours or feel charged in the night. Don't be afraid. The angelic realm is moving. Your spirit is receiving midnight downloads. Comment "Waken me" to welcome the revelations coming while you rest. Your dreams are turning into scrolls, and heaven has begun to write with your name in gold. You're not imagining the resistance. Every delay, every closed door, was spiritual friction caused by your forward movement. Archangel Michael says, the stronger the pushback, the greater the breakthrough ahead. A forgotten conversation will resurface, either in memory or reality. It holds a phrase that unlocks something you were meant to revisit. Listen again. Hidden within it is a divine instruction you once overlooked. Someone is trying to mimic your voice, your light, your energy, but they don't carry your spiritual signature. What was formed through obedience cannot be copied through ambition. You are the original. A familiar number will keep showing up. It may appear on receipts, clocks, or screens. Don't dismiss it. It's not coincidence, it's calibration. That number is heaven's way of confirming you are in sync. There's a gate opening that's invisible to others, but visible to your spirit. You'll feel drawn to act, to speak, to move without knowing why. That's not impulse. That's divine instinct, coded for timing. Right, I align now, in the comments. Alignment isn't just believing, it's responding. Heaven is watching not for perfection, but for permission. This is your yes to destiny's timing. The person who once looked down on you will soon look up to you, not out of flattery, but because the elevation on your life will no longer be ignorable. Let your presence preach what your pain survived. You may soon be invited into something that feels too big. That's not intimidation, it's invitation. God isn't calling you to what matches your comfort. He's calling you to what matches your anointing. A secret you never planned to share may suddenly be released through a conversation, a journal, or a testimony. Don't fear its exposure. It's the final crack that lets the light out fully. Someone close is about to reveal jealousy masked as concern. You'll recognize it not by what they say, but by what your spirit feels. Don't confront them. Let silence guard what elevation will reveal. A yes you thought you missed will come back, but this time wrapped in clarity, peace, and preparation. What once terrified you now feels tailor-made. That's not luck. That's readiness meeting divine return. Comment, I'm walking through, to declare your entrance into what's been waiting for you. The gate is open, the time is now, and the light ahead bears your name. You are about to be mentioned in a conversation you were never meant to hear. It will travel back to you, not to harm, but to confirm that your presence is being felt in places your feet haven't yet reached. A digital glitch, a missed call, or a broken link will feel like an inconvenience. But pause. These aren't errors. They're divine reroutes. Heaven is blocking what would have distracted you from destiny. Your name is echoing in the spirit realm, spoken by angels, repeated in prayer. That's why you've felt restless. Something is aligning that can't be undone. The preparation is almost over. A doorway marked closed in your past is being unlocked from the other side. But don't knock again, just stand still. The right person will open it, led not by your effort, but by God's whisper. You'll soon feel like crying for no reason. Let it flow. These are not tears of sadness, they are the soft landing of burdens being lifted. Archangel Michael says, release is proof that restoration has begun. Type "let it begin" in the comments. Not everything starts with noise. Some miracles arrive with quiet release. Your whisper of surrender is loud enough for heaven. There's a storm building around someone who wronged you, but you won't be caught in it. God is drawing a line of separation so clear, even they will know not to cross it again. An object you forgot you owned will fall into your hands again. A book, a piece of jewelry, a journal. It carries memory and prophecy. What was once just sentimental now carries new spiritual weight. You're about to receive clarity about something you couldn't understand for years. The veil is thinning, and what once confused you will now comfort you, because now you're ready to see the why. Someone's voice will no longer carry weight in your life, not because you've hardened, but because heaven has recalibrated your hearing. Not every voice deserves access to your spirit. A vision will flash across your inner eye, a moment, a place, or a future version of you. It will feel too big. But believe this, if you see it, it's already growing within you. Don't dismiss what your soul remembers. Comment, "See it now," to confirm what heaven has shown you. The image wasn't fantasy, it was prophecy. And the moment you believe it, you become it. You'll notice someone who once ignored you begin to observe you in silence. Don't be alarmed. They're not watching with judgment. They're watching with realization. Your glow has become undeniable. An offer will come wrapped in convenience, but feel strangely off. Pause. Heaven is testing your discernment, not your ambition. What looks good now could cost peace later. You've been feeling unseen, but not by heaven. In the spirit realm, your obedience has made you luminous. Angels are moving on your behalf in ways your eyes cannot track. A sound, either faint or repetitive, will begin to show up in your space. Bells, static, whispers. Don't fear it. It's not noise, it's signal. The supernatural is brushing against the natural. Someone younger than you will speak a phrase that stops you. Don't dismiss their words. Through childlike mouths, heaven often drops unfiltered truth. What you hear will realign your perspective instantly. Type, "I hear you," in the comments to acknowledge divine instruction. When you respond, heaven records it. The moment you say, "Yes," the message moves. Your past is no longer your prison. It's now your platform. What once embarrassed you will empower others. Shame is breaking, and in its place stands sacred testimony. A time-sensitive blessing is circling your name. That's why distractions have increased. Every interruption is a clue you're close. The enemy never fights what's idle, only what's next. The person who underestimated you will be asked to speak your name in rooms they didn't expect. Honor them anyway. Their reluctance is part of your spiritual promotion. A recurring dream is trying to deliver a map. The symbols may confuse you, but your soul understands. Don't overanalyze. Ask heaven to interpret. It's not fiction, it's foreshadowing. You're not late, you're not behind. You've been on a hidden path that heaven intentionally kept covered, because exposure too early would have attracted warfare you weren't built for. But now, you're ready. Comment, "I'm ready now," to affirm divine timing. The delays were training, the silence was strategy. This declaration marks the moment it all aligns. A door you forgot you knocked on is opening quietly. There will be no announcement, no applause, only peace. Walk through it without asking why. This is heaven's delayed, yes, finally arriving on time. Someone is silently struggling with the glow on your life. They love you, but they don't understand your calling. Don't explain. Just keep shining. Their confusion is not your assignment. You'll soon revisit a place that once held pain, but the feeling will be gone. That's not numbness. That's healing. What once wounded you is now a witness of how far you've grown. There's a divine replacement happening. What you thought was taken is being returned in multiplied form. The subtraction was surgical, but the restoration, it will be supernatural. Archangel Michael says you're entering a season where what you say will shape what shows. Speak carefully. Speak confidently. You're not just praying anymore. You're creating atmospheres. Type, "I speak life," in the comments. Life and death are in your tongue. And right now, the heavens are listening for creators, not complainers. Choose your next word like it's the next world. You're about to feel lighter. But not because things are easier. It's because burdens you didn't even know you were carrying are being lifted. Heaven has quietly removed the weight of what wasn't yours. A name you haven't heard in years will come up suddenly. Don't reach out. Just pray. That person is facing consequences tied to how they handled you. Your intercession is their only covering. You'll walk past something, a sign, a number, a sentence, that strikes you so deeply you have to stop. That's not coincidence. That's divine interruption. The message is only for those who are truly awake. Your presence will soon unsettle someone without you saying a word. That's not tension. It's revelation. Your elevation is confronting the spirit of familiarity. You no longer fit where you once blended in. Something inside you will say, "This is it." And you won't be able to explain why. That knowing isn't logic, it's spiritual memory. Your soul is recognizing what heaven has been preparing for years. Comment, "I remember now," to confirm what your spirit always knew. Prophecy doesn't introduce, it reminds. You were never lost, only waiting for the right moment to return to who you are. Your name is about to be spoken in a room where decisions are made. Not by request, but by recognition. God has positioned you in hearts before He positioned you in spaces. Favor is finding you silently. A cycle is ending, but not with a bang, with a breath. You'll feel something lift without drama or closure. That's divine completion. Heaven doesn't always explain what it ends, it just ends it. An unexpected act of kindness will flow through you soon. Not because you owe it, but because you're now overflowing. What once drained you will now be the place where healing flows through you. You're going to feel like disappearing. Not from life, but from noise. Obey that nudge. This isn't retreat. This is refinement. What God is whispering cannot survive in a crowded room. A mirror moment is coming. Not physical, spiritual. You'll suddenly see yourself clearly. Not through insecurity or comparison, but through the lens of heaven. You'll finally recognize the version God never gave up on. Type, "Reveal me," in the comments. Not for the world, but for yourself. The greatest miracle isn't around you, it's within you. Heaven is waiting for you to see what it's always seen. Someone will try to remind you of who you used to be. Don't defend your transformation. Don't argue with memory. Just smile. The old you no longer lives where you're headed. A financial shift is coming, but not by effort. It will arrive through obedience. Something you give sow or release in faith will activate an unexpected return. The currency of heaven is trust. There's a reason you've been drawn to old journal entries, photos, or prayers. They hold timestamps of what was promised. You're about to see those very words return with flesh on them. You've been quiet because heaven muted you, not as punishment, but as protection. Now, the seal is lifting. Your voice will return with weight, fire, and divine clarity. Archangel Michael says a spiritual scroll with your name has been opened. What was delayed is now being dispatched. Expect angelic activity around your space, flashes, warmth, or sudden awareness. Comment, "It is released." To agree with what heaven has already sealed. You don't have to chase it. You only have to witness it. What's yours is no longer held. It's en route. There's a divine hush surrounding your name right now. You're not being ignored. You're being hidden for impact. God is preserving your next move from those who would try to interfere. You'll soon notice certain people no longer reach out. And that's protection, not rejection. Heaven has muted connections that were secretly draining your discernment. Let their silence be your confirmation. A sacred reversal is in motion. What was once lost will return, but not in its former form. It will come back multiplied, purified, and unmistakably marked by God's signature. Your physical environment is about to shift, a rearrangement, a relocation, or even a decluttering. This isn't just change, it's preparation. The atmosphere is making room for what's coming. A strange moment of déjà vu will catch your breath. That's not memory, it's divine memory. Your spirit is recognizing a moment heaven prepared before your body ever arrived in it. Comment, I'm prepared, to declare your readiness. This is not about being perfect. It's about being positioned. The shift you feel isn't pressure. It's prophecy fulfilling itself through you. An ending is approaching, but it will feel like peace, not pain. You won't have to force it or fight it. Heaven will close this chapter gently, the same way it opened your eyes to begin again. Someone will offer you something that seems small, but your spirit will leap. Accept it. God often wraps the miraculous in the mundane to see if you can recognize royalty in rags. A long-forgotten prayer you whispered once, maybe in tears, maybe in silence, is being answered now. Angels don't forget. They only wait for the appointed time to deliver. You'll be tempted to explain your journey soon. Resist it. Explanation is not your responsibility. Obedience is. Let the fruit speak, let the glow testify. Archangel Michael says the scroll is now sealed. What heaven wrote about you is protected. No demon, delay, or doubt can erase what's been declared. It will unfold exactly as promised, without performance. Type "so let it be" in the comments. This is your agreement with the silence, the scroll, and the seal. You don't have to fight for it. You only need to stand still and believe. In a world full of noise, your silence has become sacred. What others chase through striving, you are receiving through stillness. You have not been delayed, you have been divinely timed. Every unseen battle, every hidden tear, every moment you chose obedience over applause has been recorded in the heavens. Archangel Michael stands not as a warrior now, but as a witness, watching the prophecy unfold just as it was written. You don't need to announce it, you only need to walk it. The miracle has already begun. Type "man." I accept the silence and the seal. This is not the end of the message. This is where heaven begins to move without needing your words. Let the miracle speak for you now.